Hi guys, and welcome to the latest video. This is going to be my review of my new Razer phone, which I've now been using for approximately about a week, a little bit more maybe. And I just wanted to give you guys a realistic day-to-day review of what I feel are the good parts, the bad parts, etc. about this actual phone. Now, overall, I've got to say I love it. I absolutely think it's beautiful. It's an expensive phone. It'll set you back around the £600 mark if you were to buy it SIM free. I got this on the contract with 3, which currently in the UK is around the £40 a month mark, and you get a lot of data and all that kind of jazz with it, as you'd expect from like a phone like this. So first things first, aesthetics. A week later, there's still the case has held up really nicely. The phone, I've not used this with an actual phone case. I'm talking about the actual body of the phone. The body of the phone is kept up nicely. I have placed this phone down on a variety of surfaces, from my mouse mat to a dinner table, that kind of thing. I've not dropped it yet, which is fantastic, though I'm sure I will. Now, that actually leads me on to the first point about this phone. Because of the size and shape of it, it's got a 5.7-inch 120Hz screen, which is insanely nice to use. You know, you can just scroll through apps and things, and it's a lot of fun. But in terms of its size and the finish used, it's a bit slippy, and because of its weight as well, it does have a little bit of weight to it, which is nice when you're holding it. But one-handed, it's not the most comfortable phone to hold, maybe because of its kind of blocky edges. It's not kind of curved or anything, but I like the aesthetic of it, so I'm willing to put up with that, which is, you know, something that you should just bear in mind, that holding it with one hand is not ideal. I'm also still struggling to sometimes locate the power / thumbprint sensor. So, you know, bear in mind, on a lot of phones the thumbprint sensor is either on the front or more conveniently placed on the back. Now, I appreciate Razer's decision to have a plain black back with just the camera and their logo, which is great. But from a usability point of view, I loved having the fingerprint scanner on my Nexus 5X on the back here, and I could just intuitively reach out and unlock the phone. Now I've got to, you should really program your thumbprint to unlock the phone, because your thumb will, I mean, I've got average size hands, I guess, but like your thumb will pretty much be able to reach the power / thumbprint sensor, fingerprint sensor comfortably. So you should really use your thumb to unlock this phone. Using your finger, it means you're going to be using 2 hands. If I'm right-handed, so I hold it with my left hand and then I have to tap it with the right hand. It's not a big deal, especially when you're at home, because obviously Android has that service where you've got a trusted place, so whilst you're at home the phone doesn't require an unlock. But yeah, it's just something I've noticed in terms of the usability of the phone, just a slight annoyance, I suppose. Overall, like I said, the body's held up really well. I'm really impressed by sound quality for both phone calls but also use. So I use this phone primarily, I use a lot of eBay, Amazon, those apps I use a lot for basically my income. And so those work really nicely. I do watch a fair bit of YouTube as well. Use the YouTube Creator Studio app, and that works really nicely. Instagram, obviously, all those kinds of things work perfectly well. Can't argue with that. And the sound quality is fantastic. So I've been listening to like the LBC radio app on it, or whether I've been watching videos, the sound is really, really nice on this phone. So I'll point that out. That's a positive. There were a couple of people saying that the buttons might feel cheap. I've not found that. The buttons are metal. They feel really good. They've got a good click to them. Sound really good. I also saw a review which mentioned that the vibration motor is weak. I think it's more than adequate. It works fine. When the phone vibrates, I recognize it's vibrating in my pocket or whatever, and it works absolutely fine. The Gorilla Glass on the screen has kept the screen mint. It's just brilliant screen. I love it. That's really good. Also, a small feature, but it's the kind of feature that I love. You've got the Razer theme store here as well, which I absolutely think is epic. And you can download a bunch of Razer themes. Now, if you've got this phone, the chances are you're a fan of Razer. You might not want to admit it, but it's kind of like the whole Apple thing in a way, where, I mean, Razer themselves promote it. Every time you buy one of their items, it says "Welcome to the cult of Razer," so that, you know, they know that you guys are out there and I'm out there buying their devices because they're just so freaking cool. I love the way they market their products. So you can see all these apps. Now, what was really cool is I saw that it had the Razer Breadwinner app. Now, any Razer fans out there will know that last year on April Fool's Day, that's the picture of the wife there. Okay, fans will know that on April Fool's, I think it was earlier this year, obviously April Fool's this year, they did like a mock-up of something called the Razer Breadwinner, which was meant to be a toaster by Razer, and this is like the theme for it, and it's a really, really cool theme. I can show you. So when you're on your lock screen, you've got the Razer Breadwinner toaster there, and you can see the slice of toast with the Razer logo on the lock screen, and when you unlock, you'll notice that you've got the cool Razer, you know, you got like a nice breakfast there, egg, bacon and toast. The toaster's got the Razer logo, and you scroll across, it's there as well, which is really cool. And also you can see that these icons have all got toast on them. There's, you know, toast shaped icons, including the camera and the phone. So a little thing, but it's the kind of thing that would appeal to the average Razer fan, such as myself. I really do like their products. I'm not ashamed to admit it. Now, one thing I want to mention in terms of usage, the camera, as people have said, is not the best. I noticed a couple of minor things. Firstly, when I was taking photos for products on eBay on a white background with the bright white lights on through the viewfinder of the camera, you would get that banding, which I didn't like. It didn't come through in the photos, but it did appear on the screen. I didn't like that. Secondly, the camera app, the standard camera app is just poor. There you go. You can see it. It's just poor. What I mean by that is it doesn't have as many features as I'd expect a phone like this to have. The lens is very good. It's got like an f1.7 lens, and it's got a secondary lens with a zoom on it, which is good. The photo quality is okay. The light, if the light isn't great, you will notice noise in the photos. I've noticed that, but for me it's not a big deal. I mostly just take product photos with this, and it's not my main reason for having the phone. The photos is something I use for my work, like taking photos of products for eBay. Now, what I didn't like though is the lack of options when it comes to the camera app. So you don't seem to have as many options in terms of controlling the camera. I couldn't find anything. I've been looking to see whether I'm missing something, but the settings are very sparse. You don't get nearly as many options, you know, to mess around with your photos. You've just got HDR, the grid, and a timer, and flash on or off, which is weak. And the same goes with the video camera. On my Nexus 5X, you know, with stock Android, obviously the video camera had the option of slow motion recording, which this would do a great job of, I'm sure, because it's a powerful phone. Processor's powerful, Snapdragon 835. It's got like 64 gigs of RAM on it. Sorry, 64 gigabytes of storage on it. You know, it's got a lot of RAM. I think it's like 6 or 8 gigs of RAM. I need to check that. And it, you know, they could have at least provided a better phone app. Now, you know, I know you can easily go and download one, but I'm just saying from a consumer point of view, when I had my Nexus 5X, the standard Google phone the camera app was better than the app here. And I know this is meant to be the standard app. Maybe I had like a special version of it or something. I don't know. Maybe I had like the late. I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I had more features, more functions on the camera and the camera app on my old Nexus 5X. So I would have expected to have those features here. Now this is currently running like Android 7. I think I had Android 8 installed on the 5X, which died. But yeah, that's just a minor. Other than that, overall, I'm very, very pleased with the phone. I'm more than happy with it. I can heartily recommend it. The build quality is insane. I just wanted to go through my reaction to owning and using it regularly. I do use it a lot. The battery life, sorry, I got to mention the battery life. Battery life is epic. Battery life is fantastic. Much better than I'm used to on my Nexus 5X. It's got a big, large 4,000 milliamp hour battery on it. So yeah, definitely something to bear in mind. One little thing I'm worried about is getting dirt and stuff stuck in this mesh, this speaker kind of mesh design that they've got on the top and bottom of the front. I've noticed you've got to keep on making sure that the little bits of dust or whatever don't get caught in there. I'm sure that will get gunky over time, which is going to be gross. But yeah, that's my review of my initial review, I suppose, of using the phone for about a week, day-to-day usage. Very happy with it, would recommend it. I kind of expected myself to say that, really. I just love it, but I have hopefully pointed out a few negatives which may put some of you guys off from owning it. So because there are really good competitors out there, such as the Pixel 2, etc. I will also be doing an upcoming comparison of the Razer phone cases that I've ordered. I've ordered two, the rugged and I think the slim version, so I'll be comparing those two and doing a little unboxing video of those as well. Hope you guys enjoyed my review of the Razer phone. If you did, leave a thumbs up and leave a comment in the comment section, and I'll be sure to get back to you guys in the next video. Thank you for watching.